get started. Now we're coming up to a point here on ES where not a bad short. All right, well, let me just hide some stuff here. So let's kind of take a look at what's going on, right? So obviously we've had some aggressive, can you guys see my screen? Let's see.
Yes.
All right, good. We've had some aggressive sell-offs here lately. Obviously, you know, it's nothing major. A lot of people are excited about this, right? And when you think about a bigger picture, right? So it's really not that bad. I mean, they took, we're only down 160 points, guys. So it might feel like it's a lot more, but the only reason why it feels that way, anyone has a clue?
Yeah, we were doing bing bong up and down.
The
I mean, they spike up and then they lose down. If they didn't do these spikes, for instance, like these, and then they lost, a few days in a row, they lost this much.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be different, right? But when you think about it, from this sell-off here, the major sell-off that we had, like last Friday, I mean, we haven't lost much. And a lot of people are, like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is nothing crazy. We lost 20 points, guys.
Yep.
Since last Friday. So I don't think this is bad, right? This could be a nice pullback where, they scare a lot of people and then they run from here, right? So when you look at the daily here, the daily sessions, right? There was some accumulations where they had it here on the top and then they did aggressively sell off, right? And you can see that. But right now, I mean, they're trying their best to bring it back in. And you have, I would say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days there's no consistency, right? You see the POC here, then you see it here, then you see it higher, then it's equal POCs, I would say here, right? About 44.88, where we had that imbalance, if you guys remember on the footprint charts.
Yeah.
It's really not that bad, right? And then when you hide this, right, and just look at it from a bigger perspective, right? So if you go here and kind of zoom in on a daily, thank you, bud.
When you come downstairs, if you do, you fill my water bottle.
I will. I'll take care of it. Sorry. And then you look at the volume, right? So here, I would say this is a pretty good stopping volume so far on this, right? We had the up, down, and they managed to close here a little bit higher, right? And when you think about this whole sell-off here, as you're going up, right, they're, of course, going a lot less volume. There's some correlation between volume here and here. And then you see some uptick in selling, but really the buying wasn't really that big. The only thing that I noticed here is this, right? When I look at the volume, when you're going from here, the selling volume, started picking up a little bit more. And then you go on the weekly, right? On a naked chart, you see this full body candle here and it's gone, right? It's uptick in the volume above the averages. So let's see what happens, right? I mean, we're still kind of dancing with this. So if you guys just look at the naked chart here, this level here is fairly important. And you guys know it's been important. I mentioned this level a few times, 44.98. It's a big level for the market, right? Especially if we close this week below it, like below this range right here, there's a high chance that we can potentially continue. And I would say, going to the bottom of this range fairly soon here is not out of the picture. And this would be the bottom of the structure low here. So I would expect that to happen, right? But don't get bought up into the hype and the sell-off. I just showed you that it's only 3%. So I wouldn't extremely have a bearish bias, right? I would take some money if you're up on the swing puts. Either, I'm not telling you how to manage your positions, but you can sell higher strikes, right? Or lower strikes on the puts to kind of protect it, right? If you have any of those. Now going back on a daily, we did have a lot of volume here. We kind of broke below this level, 44.98, but we are trying to reclaim it, right? And I for a fact know that it's 44.90 is a huge imbalance on the daily that we had on ES. Okay, so if that's true and we reclaim it, they will most likely spike this higher and then come back. The only thing that I tell you guys is find the 50% of this and keep it on your charts here. whatever this body is here, 4551 on ES, I would definitely keep this as a level to watch out for. I don't think they should break that tomorrow, but you never know. I mean, I think it's going to be a pretty good rejection at that point. Okay.
You say 4451
It's going to be a
Okay.
big level.
and 4498.
Yeah, that's a huge level for the breakout potential, and you'll see
Yeah.
here in a second.
For the
So
upside.
now, if you guys look, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 working days, 6 straight days. You are basically in balance here. And let's see. Let me just hide this. So here's your level, and it's coming up to be right now at 45.15. This level here, the POC. So this is going to be our cumulative POC, right? And remember, on these, I usually grab a cumulative whenever we are ranging like we are now. This is just range right now for me. We're not making higher highs. We're not making lower lows. We are, and they are quickly brought back up. And I showed you guys on TPOs today when we were trading live, I believe. There was a lot of single prints coming in today. Let's go.
Your CPOC is 4415, you said?
45 and 14, but there's a nice little rejection
Yeah,
zone
yeah.
here.
Okay, I got it right there. That's good.
I would say it's right here.
Thank you. I got it 45.14 1/4.
That's what I have, yeah. And right
Okay.
now, we just reclaimed the first SIG, which is a big deal. So let's see.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna mark it, update it. Could almost go 65 minutes. Let me see. So it shifts the POC to 45.20.
I just went from like the 4 days since they're all in the same range,
On 30 minutes, it's a 45.15.
Yeah.
And then here, I mean, there's a really big node here. I would probably keep a dotted line here on this one. I would just keep that one there to know that there's a really big high volume node, because I typically don't keep everything on my charts. I mark the levels and I play them.
For me, CPOC is that second CPOC thing,
Yeah,
26.
if you use 65 minutes, yeah, it's there. So I don't blame you. I'm just gonna keep both. So I know what my level. I mean, I don't mind catching in between those levels either. So
Oh yeah, the high volume node around 45.29-ish. Yeah.
there. All right. Well, that's what this is telling us so far. We're kind of in the range still. I would say it's kind of like a downward channel as well. For all of you that trade that, there's a nice suppression here. Here they broke, right? If you guys look at these peaks, right? This is not a bad break here. They broke above it. They spent some time and then they rejected pretty much off the second one here when they swept the liquidity here. So now, the goal is to find where are they going to bounce from. Typically, when you break a change of character, usually should you take out this low here? If I'm changing the character here, right? This was a change of character. Pay attention. Not this one. Sorry. You see, this was our change of character here, correct?
Yeah.
So if you're changing the character here, should this be low taken out?
Yeah.
No, it should be higher high than higher low.
It should be a higher low. We should not take it out.
Yeah, sorry.
And we clearly took this out. And there's an optical volume, and then this is the tweezer bottom that we experienced today. It was in 10 minutes, and it was pretty strong, I would say. Bounce here at 44.76. I didn't really have much directly at 76, I believe, but We'll take a look at
Shorty,
the picture.
please explain to me why you said that the it shouldn't be taken out.
If you're changing a character, you should not break the structure on the downside.
Okay.
Because think about it, these are break of structures. This is higher high, lower high,
Yeah.
lower low, lower low, lower high, lower
Yeah.
low. Now you're changing, you're putting in a higher high.
Uh-huh.
That means you want to go higher, so you
Oh, you
should not
want-
make a lower low.
Got it.
You
Got
need
it.
to make a higher low here, and they broke it.
Yeah.
So a little bit of caution, right? Let's just quickly do this.
That means we could still go lower.
Exactly. There's not enough strength yet.
Yeah.
But if they establish above 1 sig, let's say they take this out and they come back, that's a different story.
Yeah.
And
They get above 98.
so they rejected pretty much the 38, which was the sig before. It was the first sig for me. And we are potentially entering previous week value area low right now. They're trying to gain that back. You guys can see that this is your value area low. This would be the value area high. So if they establish this here, let's say we close tomorrow inside, I would look for some potential swing calls on SPY and look for a bounce, especially if the volume agrees, right? Because what I'm noticing even here is that, the green volume is not as strong here besides this one. And then the red ones are upticking here. You can see it yourself. But weekly, we're trying to regain the balance here. So see what they do. And then on a bigger picture, what I did today was a pretty interesting view. On a 12-month view, you just have to go on a daily. This is pretty much, you're trailing here 12 months and look. We are below this pretty heavy node here right now. You guys see it?
Mm-hmm.
So if you reclaim this node, you're probably going to be targeting, seems like 45.15, and then you have this cluster here. The way you're trading is because there's a lot of volume here. And yeah, that's wow. That's a pretty wide range, I would say, for a volume profile here. I mean, value area is pretty much the whole thing. And if you look at the previous, right, you see the pop and imbalance, right? And then you have, if you lose this level, this becomes potentially fairly quick here. So on the bigger picture, let me give you, I'm gonna hide this. We're not gonna use it. Let's see. I'm gonna go from the March lows here to this high here. And this is where we are. So 41.40, you guys probably know this level by heart now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's pretty good, but you see the shelf here. I mean, this shelf here is sitting there, and that's not including this data here. I'm excluding this data here. You guys see where it stops? I'm excluding this data, right? So if I add this data, I would expect this volume node to get a little bit bigger here. So now watch. And it didn't shift that much unless my eyes are lying to me. I did a little bit. Okay, yeah, so if we clear this level here, I would see this 44.96 is coming up again.
Mm-hmm.
Clearing that, I mean, honestly, we are gonna hit 45, the 15 level pretty much quickly. Happen tonight. I would expect that to play out fairly quickly tonight.
Going to the CPOC.
Yeah, it'll most likely go to that first CPOC. Remember, we have kind of like two, because there's really big 2 volume nodes.
Yeah.
And they're right here. I mean, they're playing with fire, but you see that there's a decent level at 44.20. We could probably zoom in on this area to find out where that is. 44.18 or so would be a big level here. Just gonna mark this so I don't have to do it in case they do shady stuff tomorrow. Yeah, so if we lose this, I'm just putting a note for myself that I know what to expect here. It can be quick. And then I think that this is the ultimate test that we're gonna reach sooner or later. And from this level, I would be looking at some longs, meaning I would buy some time on the calls. Unless the world is ending, right? And we are in a World War III, then it changes the idea, right? But just something to keep in mind. So it's just a bigger picture, and then you see all these volume nodes here. So like this one here that we are in now, right there.
Yeah.
Then you see the tiny one right here sitting. I'm just gonna highlight it a little bit. This one. This one here gets a little nasty. I mean, this one here, you have to clean that. Once you clean up, I would say second sig, and you close above this one, then it changes, right? Because here, there's some structural stuff they have to figure out what they want to do. You see this, they have to clean up this third sig, which is the 53. And remember, that's also the 50% of that weekly, it's 51. So there's a lot going on at that level, but they can definitely bounce from here. I think this is, because remember those daily imbalances that we saw, NQ has one at 340, right? Do you guys recall that? You guys remember that?
No, I remember the 300 though.
Yeah, NQ has one at 340, right? So it's somewhere around here. They had an imbalance, right? This was a bullish imbalance here, and they bounced briefly there, and then they broke through it. So this kind of becomes, I would say, like an SR flip almost. Right here.
40.
So somewhere around here, this is a pretty big level for them right now. So let's see how we react to it. I'm pretty sure we test it here soon, but there's a decent size supply right here. So if you guys go here, this is going to be pretty well tested here, I would say, this little area. And then on this one, this is the heart and soul of this shelf here. And you want to take a wild guess where we bounced. Almost to a penny there, the 36 level. Right, so this is a, I think we can stay in this zone here between this and this for a while before the next move, right? Because the big inventories, they don't get emptied out overnight. What does this look like for somebody that's a pattern trader? Anyone?
It's like a triple distribution.
Head and shoulder.
Head and shoulders.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
Bear flag.
See this, definitely a bear flag, yeah. So just keep in mind that they can't bounce this. This is just a big old candle now. This is like a master candle for this. If they really want to pop this, they got to clean this up here. This would be a really important level for them to clean. 42, we go long, and then we'll figure that out. Okay, and then 30 minutes. Let's see what they did. I think they're actually more bullish than ES. Yeah, so the value area shifted, POC shifted down. I would say we closed above the POC here, right? And the first volume node happens to be a really potential good short as well. So if you guys just take this range here, if I can grab a square. And you see that this, this volume node here is a little bit, heavier. I would just keep an eye on this to turn my bias a little bit bullish or bearish even more. Yeah, so what's that range? 82 to 92, so 10 points for a rejection. And then you have the value area high, which is also, man, how many distributions? They had 3 today.
You got it to 92.
This
82
one
to
goes to
90?
about, yeah, it goes to 92.
Okay.
But then there's a huge level there, PD value area high, that volume node.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, you got a big node there.
if the volatility, like the spikes are anything like today, man,
Wow.
it is pretty wild today.
It was yeah.
I think I had maybe, not lying, maybe 15 trades that hit stop loss within less than 10 seconds.
Yeah, I traded ES today, man. I didn't want to have a heart attack.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. So right now, would you guys grab this as a 5-day balance here or what?
Yeah.
3 day.
1,
3
2,
day.
no, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 day.
Yeah, it's 3 day. And look where we are coming up right now. And pretty much the area we highlighted with red is your pivotal. I would just change it up here now that we have it merged. This would be the area that changes my sentiment a little bit, that we're gonna go higher. And I would say, I don't know where these points go, but we're very close to potential rejection here. So let me see where 65 on this one stays the same, so we're good. Yeah, this 42 level here, like 15, 30, 42 is gonna be huge. Right? If we break this, then we potentially go on a retest of this, but man, it is.
Oh yeah, that's above the PD value area high. If you
Yeah.
break that node, you mean?
This one, no, this one here, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good long. I think this was a true SR flip here. Broke, came back, retested, so now see how they play it. I'd probably go long on a retest of this PDPOC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so that's these two. Gonna check SPY, just see. Did it break 440? Did it break 445? That 445 is the key for it. If we want to go down, we have to break 445. And we did not break 445. We swept this here. This is your liquidity, and I think this is, when did we switch the contract? Was it June?
Yes.
I mean, this looks like Swiss cheese. Holy crap, it's bad.
That was CPI, I think. Not cap.
POC is like 150 points away here. 411. I mean, they really could visit, if they break 445 here, they could quickly visit this 35, fail that, visit 27. And then this is gonna be a gap down, most likely here, you guys. None of us will catch it unless we're swinging. 420 will offer some buyers there, probably the high buyers from Colorado. And then we have a that's gonna be the target. Big POC. Yeah, I think we should be going 440 here. Somebody's on mute. Ashley. Yeah, I think 440 is doable. Losing 433 opens up things on SPY here, guys. This loss, we hit 411. From bigger picture, I'm talking time. And you see here when I grabbed, do you guys remember when I posted this chart in the Discord when I said COVID lows, right? I would say left a historical point to the highs, and look where we rejected here. Right at the value area high. I wouldn't be shocked if they attempt one more time, and if they fail, then it's a reversion to the mean, and that would be the 396 play, or potentially 365. I think we're gonna have a rip date tomorrow. It's not a bad long here, guys, on this level. Okay. Any questions on this?
No.
Simple.
I do want to ask about the footprints. The only place to get it is the Ninja Trader. Is that right? I was trying to
So
look.
we have Ninja Trader. There's Quant. I wouldn't recommend Quant Tower, maybe just yet. It looks good, functions good. It's just not. Doesn't stay up the way it should, right? Processing wise, it's not that great. I would say Sierra Chart's probably the best of all of them. If you're gonna trade a platform, I think it's the Sierra Charts.
All right, thank you.
All right. All right, guys. Well, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Be live tomorrow as well. So let's see if we can make some money in the morning and hopefully call it a day sooner than later.
Thanks a lot, Shorty.
Thanks,
All right,
Shorty.
guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thank
Have a
you.
good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.